Hi George, thank you very much for coming here to do some character creation with me. And I know that you've already got a character concept. I think it's really exciting. So I'd like you to take a moment to explain.
My character name is Vilithii. Its name is Bonsai Broken, unable to fix. It is a experimental survivor. He spent his entire life in the plant, in the sorry, not the plant, the base, uh, Iran.
Aaron.
And, thank you.
Yep.
And while there, since it's got this very interesting political and criminal field in there, it pretty much grew up as kind of like a bouncer, kind of like the tough guy who got the jobs to go ahead and be the guard or just go ahead and do a little bit of roughing up people for money. I tend to think it tends to be based on the higher floors with their experiments and just some contamination where a spore escaped, like you said, in the ventilation system, got stuck in the bottom of the entire mess of this facility, and then had to grow up on his own with the ability he had, which was, hey, look at me. I can go from humanoid to 4 arms to 4 legs. I can outrun you if I steal, or I can go ahead and have 4 arms and kick your ass. As it grew older, eventually it wanted to get off this facility and happened to go and hear about some nice little odd jobs up above where he was hoping he could go ahead and get into the security force, maybe.
Right, right. So actually join Smertios properly. And I should just add for anyone who's watching at this stage, Vilithii are actually genderless. They the correct pronoun, as George just used, is it. There are no he's and she's. They reproduce asexually.
What he thought he was joining pretty much like a little academy and a little security entry force. What it wasn't so knowledgeable was they needed a few more test subjects for some of their experiments, which they were subleasing to
Moritascus Pharmaceuticals. So Moritascus Pharmaceuticals were using Smertios facilities for their experiments.
It ended up being a involuntary subject to a few sets of experiments based on his implants and seeing if they could figure out how to control other sentient beings through removing intelligence or aspects or infecting with a new smaller implant that could take over the brain.
Right. Okay. Makes sense. I mean, it definitely sounds like something both Smertios and Moritascus would be very interested in.
Thankfully, as happens in all great tragedies and narrative stories, a heroic force of resistance comes storming in one day, completely unknowing about this facility or what heinous acts they were doing. But because of the uprise and the chaos of them trying to get some other security and other information was just enough for Bonsai to get out of his restraints and just run through the chaos, indiscriminately taking out anyone in front of him with whatever he had. Like I said, he got out of his restraints, but he was heavily drugged. There's a nice little chunk missing in the back of its head.
Right.
So it's more like a fight or flight. Through the haze that it does not really remember worth anything, happened to go ahead and end up on the Resistance ship. I personally believe that it got all the way up there through fighting and just pretty much collapsed right when he got on the ship, thinking that he could hide and find freedom somewhere else. It has very few memories of his past, with all the twiddling they did back there. Pretty much almost pretty much amnesia, loss of everything but the fighting abilities it has.
Okay.
Now, I will say that once it got into the Resistance, it did luckily also stumble upon a brilliant scientist, another Vilithii named Silverbow Offers Shade.
Okay.
Who saw fellow Vilithii and also saw this rather interesting enigma of what did they do to it and can I fix this? As most people have suffered horrendous factors, the best way to go and solve this was with another being, a donor, and also we'll go and say a support creature, something that stabilized Bonsai's frenzied, new, shattered personality. With left on his own, Bonsai like just is a cold, heartless killer. I mean, it's got logic, but it doesn't care whether the answer was, well, we could have just locked the door, or I could have thrown a grenade and killed everyone in there. Either way, hey, we weren't attacked.
Mm.
Um, I tend to go ahead and believe a little bit that maybe at the moment while Silver was trying to figure out, or sorry, Bao was trying to go and figure out how to save him, a nice little collector was nodding on her leg. And she looked down and saw how adorable they were and thought, this could heal it.
We've obviously talked already, and this support creature is actually going to be part of your character that's perhaps concealed most of the time, but linked to the main part of Bonsai's body, providing sort of additional neural tissue to rebalance him and make him more normal.
And I think also, yeah, the since they're of the same species, I think that like you said, that genetic stuff was compatible. Plus, also since this is a very simple, pretty much non-sentient being, it could take the extra traffic and chaos going on through Bonsai's mind and just flow into there and cause no problem, or to flow all the way back and just be calmer.
Almost acting like a filter, like giving it more processing time as it speeds around the entire system.
Yeah,
the thoughts.
That or maybe Silver Bow was cheap and didn't want to go and buy at the bar and just thought, free lunch.
One or the other.
We will never know till we can question Silver Bow.
I'll have to make sure that I write Silver Bow into the campaign now, won't I?
So, so in essence, what my idea of this character was pretty much, this is a powerhouse. This is a character who has known nothing pretty much than fighting and surviving its entire existence. And just so it's not just some heartless killing Rambo, it has a cute little collector. Now, the collector also, because it was modified to pretty much take over some of the stress of Bonsai, is in essence also a remote, a remote mount, or sorry,
a remote viewer.
Like a remote viewer. So now, pretty much, Bonsai has pretty much almost a drone that can go forth, seek out a little bit, and try to gather a little bit of intel through.
Go forth and be cute.
Yes, and earn your keep. Get money.
So,
bring me money.
For people listening who don't already know, this is actually discussed in the core rulebook. The Vilithii collectors will actually wander around the streets and they'll sort of nudge people into buying freeze-dried sap, which the Vilithii produce naturally. And it's like a snack. You know, they're almost like walking vending machines. So, mostly they'll be totally ignored. Obviously, if someone realizes that it's spying on them, Bonsai has a camera implanted in this collector, and it's actually going around and spying for him. Actually going around and spying for it, attempting to follow the orders that Bonsai is giving via a neural link. So I thought this character was an absolutely fascinating idea. I really wanted to make it happen, and I'm really pleased that we've managed to find a way to do that. Back to the actual practicalities of character building. Does Bonsai have a hobby apart from fighting?
I would go ahead and honestly say cooking.
Cooking. I love it. I love it. As of right now, Bonsai cooks every evening for the entire unit. I love it. How about a quirk? I think kind of the symbiotic collector is what we're going to call your quirk, right?
Okay, because otherwise the other option was just plain weird.
Just plain weird. Well,
yeah.
I'm making the symbiotic collector a little more specific. So what it's going to do is when you are when the collector is with you, you're normal. When it leaves you, you actually have half intelligence, half charisma, and +2 willpower. So that's actually quite a significant change that it does to your stats. But it's to reflect this sort of cold-hearted, uncaring individual who's not going to be running away because you're not scared. So you'll have a very high willpower. You'll believe that everything you're doing is right.
Okay.
And in terms of height and weight, what are we looking at?
2 meters and about 110 kilos.
And 110 kilograms.
You can't be small if you want to be Rambo.
Indeed, I agree. And how old is Bonsai? Because we discussed, he's probably not very, very old, is he?
No, about 36.
About 36. All right, brilliant. So those are the basics of the character. We're going to hop on to talking about your attributes next.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as you know, attributes at level 1, and we'll start at level 1 and then add the extras in a minute. Excuse me. We'll start at level 1 and add the extras in a moment. Now, attributes, you get 6, 5, 4 to spend on the various rows, the 3 rows. So, which row do you consider your 6th row?
That would be my dexterity, wits, and luck.
Dexterity, wits, and luck. Oh, I should ask first, which form do you think Bonsai usually takes? Because Vilithii can have 4 arms. Yes?
Yep.
Okay.
4 arms.
So Vilithii can have multiple forms, for anyone who doesn't know. And each one of them has some specialties and some negatives. So, with 4 arms, and you're saying you usually take that form, you will have half dexterity, and you will have half speed as well.
Yep.
You'll also have -2 damage threshold and -2 kill threshold.
Yeah, that one hurt.
Yeah, however, you also get 4 free specialties, which are all related to being able to use more than one weapon at a time. So you get Gun Nut, which lets you dual-wield guns with a lower penalty. You get Slice and Dice, which lets you dual-wield melee weapons with a lower penalty. You get Bar Fight Veteran, which allows you to brawl twice in one turn, as long as no one's fired any weapons. And you get 2 stones, 1 bird, which allows you to throw twice as many thrown weapons. So I'm just going to add this half on your speed here. And there we go. So, your dexterity, wits, and luck row is your 6. So what points are you going to add in here then?
Okay. This was my 6. I pretty much just broke it evenly to
2, 2, and
3
2?
additional decks. No, I did 3 additional decks, 3 additional
decks.
wits, and just luck as it was.
3 additional wits, and leave luck as it is. So, because you have half dexterity, your dexterity is going to be 2. I might comment that it does seem not really worth it to put the 4th point in dexterity, unless you're planning to put a 5th point in dexterity and raise your dexterity to 3. Because the difference between 3 dexterity and 4 dexterity is actually no difference. So do you want to drop down to 3 total dexterity, 2 additional, in that case?
Let's go ahead and throw the extra odd one to luck now, since
Alright.
it will get much more now that
Indeed.
it's been handicapped.
Indeed. So what is your 5 row then?
That was stamina and willpower.
Stamina and willpower. I thought it might be. So, what have you put in stamina and willpower then?
I put in 4 in stamina. No, wait, I'm sorry, that was with additional. I did the.
So you've got
3 in
5, 3 extra in stamina. Yep.
And 2 in willpower.
2 in willpower. Okay, so you have +2 in brackets for willpower. And we'll know, in fact, I'm going to put a Q next to that to remind us that it's for the quirk. So when your quirk is active, you have +2. And I'm going to put a Q and half next to intelligence and charisma, just to remind us of that as well. Because I don't want to accidentally give you things that you shouldn't have. Wouldn't want that, would we? Duplicate layer and just shift that over here. Okay. Right. So that was 5 extra points, 3 in stamina, 2 in willpower. And then you've got 4 remaining for strength, intelligence, and charisma.
Yes, which was a 3 in strength and just 1 in intelligence.
Okay, brilliant, and no extra charisma. Okay, so that's your attributes there. Let's talk skills, shall we? Level 1 skills.
Mhm.
And which row is your 11 row? Because you have 11, 7, and 4. Just going to zoom this out a
My
little bit. There we go.
11 row was the personal one,
Personal.
where I pretty much did 3 brawl,
3 brawl. That's 3, obviously.
3 melee,
3 melee. That's 6.
I then did yeah, 3 stealth,
3 stealth. That's 9. 2 remaining.
and then
Sorry.
2 remaining.
2 remaining. Yeah.
2. Then 1 in investigation and 1 in survival.
1 in survival, 1 in investigation. Okie dokie. And what is your 7 then?
My 7 was a technical.
It doesn't surprise me, and I'm assuming explosives features in here somewhere.
Nope.
Nope.
Not dry explosives.
Right.
Pretty much. Gunnery went to 1, 2, 3. Gunnery went to 5.
5. Okay, so that's 6 of your 7 points.
And then threw in 1 in medicine.
1 in medicine. Right. So just for anyone watching here, this is worth 2 points. So we had to spend 2 of his skill points in order to get to 5 gunnery. Still, 5 gunnery is pretty impressive. Certainly not slacking off. So you have 4 points remaining for the interaction area.
Intimidation.
All 4 in intimidation. You are indeed very intimidating.
Yes, I am.
All right. So that's great. So that is a level 1 character for attributes and skills. So we're going to hop back to the attributes now, and we're going to talk leveling up.
Yep.
So we have here 2 extra attribute points.
Just straight into stamina. They got me that 5th stamina.
Straight into stamina. Yep. Okay, so that's 5 stamina there. Okay, so those are your 2 additional points. You're not going to like it when I tell you what your equipment limitations are. There's an equipment limitation on the members of this unit. So you're not going to like that.
Can that email come before I finish?
No. Okay, so you have 4 extra skill points to play with.
Oh, this is gonna hurt now.
Which can be spent anywhere.
Yeah. Pretty much my 4. What I just decided to go and do was I added 2 more to medicine. They got me to 3.
2 more to medicine. 1 second. On it. There we go. Yep.
And now, because of your remark, I'm going to modify my original plan. And just to be the quirky one I am, I'm adding 2 explosives now.
Okay, 2 explosives. We certainly have a lot of explosive love in this particular party. A lot of explosive love. So, that is all of the skills for your character. So now let's talk specialties. And you have 5 specialties that you can have.
Yep. I have Workhorse 1 and Workhorse 2.
Oh, goodness. 2. So, Workhorse 2 gives you plus 100% and replaces Workhorse 1. So, Workhorse and Workhorse 2 are not cumulative. You just get double. Okay.
And then I decided to keep it. I'm going to go ahead and have the Vilithii special ability of Remarkable Convincing.
Remarkably Convincing. So what Remarkably Convincing does, for anyone watching, is that it allows you to switch to actually very much resemble any race in the Consortium. So rather than normally when you'd shapeshift, you'd have Bark, and you'd clearly be a Vilithii in that form. Bonsai is going to be so skilled at shapeshifting that he can actually appear human, appear to have skin. Of course, a DNA scan would reveal that, but visually, no one would be able to tell.
I can fit anyone's armor.
Okay, remarkably convincing. So that's 3 of your 5. What else are you thinking of?
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades.
Priceless.
Anyone who watched the anyone who knows about the human already knows that I'm a big fan of this particular one.
And my final one is because Bonsai is a survivor. Physician, heal thyself.
Physician, heal thyself. So, you actually have no combat specialties, which is very interesting. You're relying on your dice. That should be rather interesting to see. Physician, heal thyself trebles the amount of healing you do when you're healing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Which is quite a lot. Pity about your intelligence.
Yes, that will definitely. Well, it'll have to be a heal thyself only when I have the collector with me.
So, implants, you're allowed up to your stamina or up to your level, whichever one is smaller. So you are level 3 and you have 5 stamina. So you may have 3 implants. Now, I'm afraid the collector actually counts as 1 implant.
Yep.
So I'm going to write collector remote viewer as one of your 3 implants. However, the other 2, you're totally open. What are you thinking?
Subdermal armor.
Subdermal armor, of course.
And I like my guns, so I definitely need to go and have a bionic eye that can see through anything. Pretty much.
Bionic eye. Okay then. Relying on your personal medical skills in order to improve your in order to improve your health. Okay, so I'm now going to do your derived stats. And your encumbrance is actually doubled. Oh, I need to start with your size. I'm sorry. Your size is 5, like any other Vilithii. Which means you have 5, 10, 14 encumbrance, which is then doubled to 28. You have a lot of encumbrance.
Yep.
You have a speed which is halved, and is strength plus dexterity plus size. So your dexterity is 2, your strength is 4, and your size is 5, which is 11. So your speed is half of that, rounded down, which is 5. Okay, initiative is wits plus willpower. So you have 7 unmodified, or with your quirk, 9. Thanks to the fact that with your quirk you actually gain 2 willpower. So I've written 7Q9, just so that we know that when the quirk is active, your stats change. Your defense. Now this is going to be 2. Yes. The lower of wits and dexterity. I know, again here, I know that this is marked as black, but I need to mark it as red because it's half. And now, I think we are ready to talk. Oh, notoriety. I'm going to say that your notoriety is probably 0. The population of the Consortium would not recognise you based on your backstory. There's no reason anyone would know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm now ready to talk equipment with you. Now, you are limited to 4 pieces of equipment maximum. But I do not include your collector as one of those pieces of equipment. One of the things we discussed beforehand is that your collector will actually have an encumbrance of 5.
Yes.
Didn't we? So, as you can see, he's taken quite a bit of a beating for having this collector. I'm actually feeling like maybe I'm being a little harsh. I think I'm going to give you another implant. I think your collector implant is free. I feel like I'm being a little bit harsh. So you're going to have a 4th implant because the collector will not count as one of your implants.
Okay. Well, let's get through the equipment.
Yes, I really am that nice.
By after finding out, oh, he's got all this encumbrance. You get 3 items from the bag.
Yeah, it's very nice of me, isn't it? Alright, so, what other items interest you? Just as a guideline that I gave to everyone else, 4 gives you enough for 1 weapon, 1 piece of armor, 1 shield, and 1 extra piece of equipment of your choice.
Well, since my math here already got modified, we're going, and my dex is 2. We're going for the heavy armor.
Heavy armor.
It won't affect my dex.
No, it won't affect your dex. Not unless you increase your dex. Certainly. Heavy armor is encumbrance 4, if memory serves. And +2, +4.
Yes.
Just double checking my rulebook there. Make sure I tell you the right thing.
Need every bit of help to survive now. I'm slower.
In fairness, with the subdermal armor, you're pretty tough. No one's even going to kill you with a shotgun. That's pretty hefty. It's not bad.
Then we're going to go ahead and go for shield 10.
Yep, you're basically invincible. I'm gonna have to throw quite a few enemies at you to slow you down, certainly.
And because
shield 10 is encumbrance 8, so you now have a total of, if I'm counting this right, 17 encumbrance used.
Yep. And because I just want to be the smart person I am, or my character needs to be the Rambo he is.
Yeah, I have a feeling the word minigun is about to come out of your mouth.
I might now that I've got... No, wait, I don't have enough because I've already got 17.
Oh, no, you have plenty. You have 17. Oh, no, you're right, you don't. Oh, yeah, goodness.
Unless I downgrade my shield, then I can run around with it. Or I could just go and do dual assault rifles, which both shoot 5 rounds at a time. And I have 2 of them, so I'll get to shoot 10. Half of a minigun.
Okay, well that will be all of your equipment, of course. But you have 2 assault rifles, which I'm just going to put in 1 slot for ease, and that will be an encumbrance of 4. And it's a shame you don't have 1 more encumbrance, really. I believe they are 5/7, are they not? Just double checking. 5/7. Yep.
Like I said, I can always drop that shield 1, and then I'll be shield 5. Then run around with minigun, but the strength check on that would be what?
Oh no, just use 1 minigun. No, it's not too bad. In fact, you don't even need a strength check. You're fine. You can just have it. Then again, assault rifles might be a bit more concealable, like a minigun kind of dead giveaway. But and assault rifles might not be confiscated from you in situations where a minigun might be. I'm just saying.
I'm just having this cleaned. Honest. Just take it to the cleaner. Getting re-chromed. Yep, that we'll have to go ahead and do since my shopping list got chopped in half.
Sorry about that. I'm lying. I'm not sorry at all.
This is for everyone watching. Don't show your characters beforehand.
Yeah, no,
so you get what the plan is.
Yeah, yeah. So you now have a wound of +2 and a kill of +5 thanks to your subdermal armor. We still have 1 more implant to give you.
Yes.
So what are you thinking looks good? I'm looking at these and I'm going, I have some thoughts about what you might choose. Perhaps a facial morpher would come in handy. Under the circumstances that you have the remarkably convincing. Might be helpful.
That is a strong looking right there at that. Then the other fun possibility is well, I do have this one quick question about it. But if I am four arms.
4 arms, you always have those specialties. If you don't have 4 arms, you don't have those specialties.
Yeah, okay. But so in essence, when I'm 4 arms, I have those specialties plus the ones I've told you.
Yes.
Okay, good. I was afraid for a moment they got lost.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wrote down your wound and kill threshold wrongly. Because you have -2 being 4-armed, so you have 0 wound.
Yep.
And 1 kill. No,
yep.
3 kill. I'm sorry. It's -2, -2. So despite all that armor, you can still be killed by an assault rifle. That's why you have a shield 10.
That's exactly why I have a shield 10. That's exactly the reason.
So what are we thinking for this last implant then?
I almost want that grenade launcher, but
bionic arm, you mean?
Or what?
You mean the bionic arm, spring-loaded?
Yeah, but you know what? Well, I can toss him there. My dex is crap, so I don't really trust my throwing arm, to be honest. So I think I will do the facial morpher.
Facial morpher. Which is going to mean that you can literally take the form of absolutely anyone given enough notice. And just to clarify, this was a question that I was asked earlier. In order to change species, the appearance of a species, he needs 48 hours, like any Vilithii doing shapeshifting. Bear in mind that often, if you're a human or you're a Eulutian, you'll only have 2 arms, so you'll count as a standard Vilithii rather than a 4-armed one. And the facial morpher will instantly let him look like any member of the species that he already looks like. In principle, the facial morpher could make him look like a simian head on a human body, but let's not do that.
Take away every plan I have for chaos.
I'm sorry about that. So it is very much a pleasure to meet Bonsai. I'm just going to zoom out and show the entire character sheet here. I'll leave the background for you to fill in. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't do the health and the shield yet. So you have a shield 10, which I'm going to fill in here. 10 points of shield. And you have 10 points of health as well. 5 stamina and 5 size. Which is highly respectable, to be honest.
I don't want to die.
So, there we are. Here is Bonsai. Bonsai Broken, unable to fix, the escaped involuntary test subject who joined the unit in the hope of finding battle, I guess.
I have anger issues.
Anger issues, yeah.
I'm in therapy. I'm in therapy.
Yeah. So I imagine that you were recruited for some very good reasons because, more muscle is always good. And,
I might have been cuddling a torn body when they found me on the ship as a Tay-Bear. I might have been. It's hard to remember.
So, really an interesting character, something a little bit off the beaten track, and I'm really excited to see how it plays.